Welcome to the On Your Side podcast. I'm Susan Campbell, joined by Scott Pasmore, my co-host now for a couple times running. We're going to make this a usual thing.
I'm down with this. I love doing this. It's so much fun.
And this podcast,
especially today.
This one was your idea. You said, I have a really fun idea for a guest. You pitched it to me and I said, yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
So we are talking to Josh Altman. He is one of the premier realtors in, let's just say, the world, but for sure California and the country. I got to meet Josh, and we've been friends for many, many years. I invited him on the show a long time ago when $1 Million Listing LA was right in the middle of all that. And I actually invited the other Josh to do something on TV, and he wasn't interested. And I love Josh Altman because he said, heck yes, I'll do it. I never turned down business. So since then, we've been friends. He and his team were my realtors for the last house I built and sold. So he's still going strong, not on the show anymore. He retired so he could spend more time with his family. But Josh Altman, hello, how are you?
Hey, folks, how are you? Scott, always good to see you again. I mean, you have to be, you might say I'm the number one agent. I think you're the number one reporter slash newscaster slash flipper.
Yeah, we're going to give him that.
I do love flipping and building, no doubt.
Right. I would put you up against any other newscaster in the world when it comes to flipping houses.
That is quite a designation.
I might be the only one.
So you and Scott have a little connection. Josh, you and I have a little connection too. We both went to Syracuse. We're both proud Syracuse alums.
That's right. That's right. Although I got to admit, I don't remember anything from those years.
Who does?
Some on purpose, some not on purpose. But yeah, no. Cuse in the house, always representing a proud graduate of Syracuse. And I don't know about you, but I still watch all the games.
Yeah, except maybe the Notre Dame game this year. That one, I made it about 3 minutes and I had to turn it off.
I know, but listen, do you know who is the most successful football player at Syracuse University to never play a down?
I guess that would be you.
Amazing.
That's right. I am the only kicker in history to never have to wash my jersey once.
Yeah. On Saturday mornings, the college game day, they always offer somebody in the crowd, a kid, a chance to kick like 30 yards for $500,000 or whatever it is.
I know.
Could you make a 30-yard kick today?
Oh, I can make that. I can make that with my left foot. Come on, Scott. I still got it. You know me. I'm still in the gym every day, just in case I get that call.
Yeah, you might get that call. You never know.
I love it. Okay, so we got to jump in. We want to talk about real estate and investing. First of all, could you peer into a crystal ball for us a little bit? What does 2026 look like?
Oh, no, I have. Do you want me to get my crystal ball? It's right in my office.
Love it.
I've been using it for 20 years. Yeah. It's so I tell my clients that a lot. I say, oh yeah, they're like, what's my house worth? What it'll be worth in 3 years? And I go, yeah, well, let me just get my crystal ball out of my bag. So it's perfect. Yeah. What does 2026 look like? Really interesting because the market this year has been, it's been a mess. It's been all over the place. I was just on Varney the other day, on Fox Business News, talking about how it's such an interesting time where the rates are where they are, the inventory, being where it's at right now, people pulling houses off the market right now, the cost of construction being just absolutely going through the roof. And especially for remodels, flipping, and this and that, it's very difficult. The landscape is very difficult out there. And I will tell you, as an agent, I think this year we're going to sell about $1.35 billion worth of real estate. A lot of it is to developers, and the margins they're just not there. It's just difficult. They're so thin. There's no room for error. And so it's not what it used to be. But along with that, there's other opportunities that we see. But I think 2026 will be a stronger year than 2025. I hope it will be. I can tell you in our business, it's been a tough year for most realtors. I think it will. I think we'll lighten up. Look, you folks are lucky to live in a great place when it comes to real estate. And man, what a ride you guys have had over the past, what is that, 6-7 years. Oh my God, I just thought about my kids saying 6'7" in the background.
No, let's don't even
Mine
do that.
does that too.
My
My
God.
7-year-old does that too, and I'm always like, what does it actually mean?
Oh my God, it's all day. It's in my mind.
Oh,
So I
I'm
actually
sure.
say 6'7" way more than I thought I did because now I'm aware. But you folks have had such a great ride the last 6 or 7 years, and so amazing to see. And the quality of life out in Arizona is just it's wonderful. And we have a lot of clients here in California that come from Arizona, from Scottsdale, from PV, and all great people. So lots of love to Arizona for sure.
Well,
We don't want Scott to do too well in real estate because we don't want him to retire from his day job. But I do know that you love doing this, building houses, flipping houses, and it's something that you're passionate about talking about.
I love doing it because my first TV job only paid me 10 grand a year. So I thought, there's got to be a better way on the side. And I remodeled my first house and I made $35,000 in 6 months, which was more
A
than I'd
boatload
make
of money
in
then,
a couple
yeah.
years. So I was like, that's it. So I've been doing it for 40 years now. And now I'm building homes from the ground up. And so that's where Josh came in to help me sell my last house. And I'm now working on my next one. But Josh, one of the great things about $1 Million Listing in LA that I loved was all the beautiful homes there in LA that you guys would show and sell. And a lot of them were people, investors who would come in and build the homes. So whether you're talking about the $15, $20, $25 million homes that you sell, or somebody that wants to buy a $500,000 home and flip it, fix it up, flip it, make some money, what do buyers want out there in a home? Because they really do want turnkey, right?
Well, yeah. So first of all, it doesn't matter the price. I always say it's like when you're a field goal kicker in college. It doesn't matter where the ball's at. You kick the ball the same. It doesn't matter if it's a $500,000 flip or a $20 million flip. At the end of the day, buyers want the same thing. And I before we get into that, I just want to say a lot of the success, Scott, just from seeing what you do and why you're so good at what you do. A lot of flippers are part-time flippers. And so they have their job. They don't show up all the time on site where the property is, and they're not really running the show. In order to really be successful and of course, cut costs at the end of the day, you have to be so heavily involved. And Scott, that's what you do so great. I mean, you basically could build the house yourself at this point. If you're not involved in every aspect of the build, of the remodel, it's going to take longer. It's going to be more expensive. And it may not turn out a lot of the times like you want it to be. So it's tough to not be full-time in that business and be successful. And I say that the same way as I say in real estate as a realtor. It's tough to be a part-time realtor. You really got to go all in. Look, what people want is, the most important thing that people want is a layout that works for the family. There's amazing houses that we have sold in the past or haven't sold in the past. I know on $1 Million Listing, you see that we do deals every hour. Unfortunately, that's not the
that's TV.
That's TV. Yeah, that's not the case. I would say out of the 180, 200 deals all due this year, all not due about 300 of them. So over 50% don't get done. I mean, the amount of offers we write a day that don't come together, or it might even be higher than that. But the layout for the family, like you might have the best house ever, but if the floor plan doesn't work and you can't fix it, it's not going to be a good flip. So what I always look for when I flip houses, and I flip a lot of houses, I started the same way Scott did. I was in the mailroom in LA and I had $5,000 in my name. My brother had $5,000 to his name, and we bought a place and flipped it. And we made, let's see, I bought it for about 400,000. We flipped it for almost 600,000 6 months later. And that basically was the beginning of the Altman Brothers real estate. Because we were like, oh my God, we just made more money than we would make in 10 years in the mailroom. So, but no matter the floor plan is just that's where it's at. So if you can't fix it, don't do it. Don't force a flip on something that doesn't have the best layout. And I always look at it as buyers are like a pizza, right? When you're selling a house, you want to appeal to the entire pie. And so if it has a specific layout, you might lose 50% of that pie. Now your buyer pool is 50%. If you don't have enough bedrooms, then you're going to lose more of that pie. And so it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Then your buyer pool is really small. The goal is to get as much of that pie to be your buyer pool as possible. That's how I look at it.
What is a layout that would be an absolute no-go? You'd walk in and you'd turn around and walk right back out because you know that is uninteresting to people.
Well, we sold one 6 months ago, and it didn't go as well as we wanted it to, where there was just one bedroom upstairs. And it was a great house, and we couldn't sell it because everybody who walked through, it was in a family neighborhood. They wanted more bedrooms upstairs so everybody could be on the same level. That killed basically every deal. I mean, we finally eventually got it done, but it was very difficult. So the action, when you think about the masses and who buys in that neighborhood, that's really important. So you're catering your flip to that buyer, and always have that in mind. When you're flipping a house, it's difficult when you love real estate like we all do, because you want it to be amazing. And when I flip houses, I always have to remind myself, and my wife has to remind herself, and my brother, because we all flip together, we're not doing this for us. So you got to stop thinking about us and how it would work for us, because we're not going to be the ones buying it. And the people who are buying it aren't going to have the same, maybe not the same, family that we have, whatever it may be. So really the location of the buyer pool in that location is the most important.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just going to say, it's interesting you say that. I always, buy the worst house in the best neighborhood that you can afford. And I always approach it like what you just said, Josh, because people have weird tastes and in general. So I never would do anything that I so much liked or thought would be cool, but what I thought the buyer would want. So you kind of have to have that thought process, and you have to know what buyers want.
And like a little bit more neutral and basic that can be added to later versus trying to strip things away. I remember when we were looking to buy here in Phoenix, there was one house that was in a great location that we totally loved, except the seller had renovated it to be 2010 fabulous. And it was like all Southwest 2010. And it was like colors in your face, just all over the place. And we were like,
like you and Josh would love to paint a room orange and put Syracuse all over it, but I don't know that buyers are going to want that.
No, probably not.
Hey, you know what? The interior of my car is orange, so don't make fun of me, Scott.
Oh, I'm sure it's a fine car. There's no doubt.
But yeah. Listen, when it comes to flipping, that's important. But also one of the most important things is time, and time is money. Right. And most of us have to borrow when we flip houses. Right. We're not just sitting there with our own cash laying around. So time is when you kill 6 months because of a mistake, or you're stuck in the city for some reason, that comes down to making or breaking a deal. I mean, I have these developers, and my developers do bigger houses because I just live in an area where our average sale is 8 million, and our listings go up to 100 million. But you start thinking about the carrying costs for these people, because they're not cash either. And you start thinking about it. And every month that goes by, I had a client, every month went by, he's $250,000 to carry the house.
Carrying? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So think about that for a year. I mean, we're talking almost $3 million.
While you're searching for the right buyer.
Yeah. So time is so important.
So you brought up the point of reminding yourself that this is not for me. This is for somebody else. I don't need to design this for me. But that doesn't mean cutting corners. How do you kind of balance making really good decisions, but not overspending or overbuying for something?
Okay, that's actually a great question, because no, it's definitely not cutting corners. And just so you're aware, buyers are smarter these days with the access that they have. They're definitely more well-versed in what a good finish is compared to not. Like it's back in the day, you could just show a house and people have no idea. Now they're like, oh wait, is this Waterworks, or is this, they're asking the brand names because they know. So it's definitely not cutting corners. You want to do that right. But there are great alternatives. Like I educate myself whenever I'm flipping a house. I love going to the stone yard with my wife. Like we look at all the different stones. We want to know, okay, we love this style. What is the most expensive of this style, the medium, and the cheap of this style? So there's lots of different alternatives. But neutralizing a house, when we talk about not building it for ourselves, when in doubt, go neutral. Trust me. I mean, I can't tell you how many houses we sell when the buyer goes in and then they redo the house anyways, even though it's a new house, because they make it their own. But the worst thing you can do is personalize it like crazy colors. Look, you want to go have fun, in a powder bath. Go crazy in the powder bath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the place to go crazy in all these houses. Like go do a cool stone and a cool color, because it's a small little place. But just go neutral. And listen, that comes down to all these staging companies, which I have to tell you something about AI after this. But even staging companies, you just want to go light, bright, white furniture. And it's all about the energy in these houses and making it as bright and light as possible.
I have a funny story 2 houses back. When I build a house, I like to build big garages and big closets. And so
that sounds like you were building for yourself,
yeah,
Scott.
Well, so the primary had 2 big closets, his and hers. And so in the hers, it had glass cabinets, and it was really nice. So I went to Sam's Club, and they had this light there for $99, and it was real modern and kind of shiny and stuff. And I thought that would be the perfect light to put in the middle of this closet. So I did. Put it up there. I didn't tell anyone that it was $99 from Sam's Club. I had more people that said, "I love that light," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I spent a lot of money on that."
Hilarious.
And then when I sold the house, I thought I could write a book on how to make $1 million with a $99 light.
I love that. That's a super fun idea.
I try to save
Did you
costs.
sell the light with the house?
Of course, yeah. I added an extra $1 million. No, but I'm sure Josh, when you're building, you can definitely overspend, but you don't want to go cheap, obviously. But I think there are certain places like a light in the closet where you can not get a name brand and get something that looks the same that's cheaper and come out okay with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, there's very important parts of the house, right? When we're selling houses, what are the most important parts? Well, of course, the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the master bedroom, master bathroom, and the living room are probably the most important parts, because that's where people hang out, and the buyers, that's where they sleep. Everything else, like if you're going to go all out in those rooms, especially the kitchen. The kitchen's the most important. So like I'll have clients who will go and they'll go get expensive appliances and finish work and everything in the kitchen, and the rest they'll do different. It's really interesting, because that's what sells houses. And also looking at the house that you're flipping, understand when you're walking through, like, what is the reason someone's going to buy this house? Is it because it's got the best view ever? Great. You don't have to do, certain things because they're buying it either way for the view. Or it's got the best pool ever, or the best yard ever, or the best kitchen, or the best layout, or whatever it is. Understand what it is that's going to sell that house. Every house has one thing that just makes it a superstar house. So really lean into that.
Hey, speaking of kitchens, because I'm going to be at that point here within the next year, what is hot in LA with these fine homes you sell in the kitchen in terms of cabinetry, colors, things like that?
So, yeah. It's funny. People walk through houses and then they walk through the kitchen and they open up the cabinetry like everybody's an expert. They they knock on the wood. They're like, like they don't. they don't know it. This is quite a cabinet. You're like,
this is wood.
This is wood. Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's not, unfortunately, but. I mean, look, with the kitchens, you got to keep it simple, but also functional. So think about it. If you're going to be, this is an entertaining type of house, you have to have those type of things. You know what was really crazy when I was building my last house? So I've done about, at this point, I think right now I'm working on about 6 or 7 flips. But we've done at this point almost 50. And the appliance game has become such a crazy racket. Getting an appliance, getting it on time, getting the right one. The price of these appliances are so crazy. Like, I have no problem buying a nice used appliance, whatever it may be, because the prices are so crazy now. So there are a lot of sites, and listen, I'm not going to promote different sites, whatever it may be, but really do research when it comes to that stuff, because you can save a lot of money and a lot of time. A lot of time, you think someone's going to know the difference of a used refrigerator or a new refrigerator? it's still refrigerating. So there's lots of things that you can go and save money on. But I think a woodworking person is really important in any flip. There's nothing worse than a cabinet, for instance, that doesn't line up exactly or doesn't close well. But yeah, without getting into the specifics of it.
I love it. So for the people who might be dreaming of jumping into this game and they do want to start small, maybe that $500,000 house somewhere here in Arizona, give us some of the maybe most giant pitfalls to avoid if we're just getting started.
Well, yeah. Okay. So you're going on a date. What's important? Your first impression, right? That's important in life. You're going on an interview. You're going on a job interview. You're going on a listing appointment. Your first impression is everything in life. So when you're pulling up to a listing, the thing that I get seen left, because the last thing every flipper spends their money on is landscaping.
Landscaping, the front
right?
yard. Yeah.
It's like, I don't have any money. Let me see how much. Hold on. I got $200. All right, we're spending $200 on landscaping. That's literally what it comes down to. When I see people, they don't even put landscaping in the budget because they don't think about it. And I can't tell you how important landscaping is. Like, I've made some serious money buying houses, cutting down the right trees, putting in new trees and landscaping. Like, when I tell you on the level that we're doing it, it's big bucks and it's really important. So first impression when you pull up to the house, make it look like the best one on the street. And Scott, I like how you said you like to buy the cheapest house on the best street. That's always a winner, always a winner. And but landscaping, spend the money, don't cheapen out, don't get the trees that your developer goes, oh yeah, no, this will grow, and then, well, in 2 years it's going to grow. It's just spend the extra couple grand getting the extra couple feet on the trees. Trust me, there's a difference of a hedge and then like a little lonely tree sitting there. So if you don't spend money on the landscaping, the first thing people think in their mind is, what else didn't they spend money on? Exactly. And that's not what you want people to think when they're walking through your house when you got to sell it quick.
So when you pulled up to that house and it had a gravel front yard, you knew they ran out of money. And even though rocking can be very expensive these days.
Oh, yeah, it can be. It can be. I like DC, decomposed granite. I like DC, DG, sorry. And that's kind of cool, especially with the Santa Barbara Spanish that we've been selling and a couple other styles. So you can get away with stuff like that. But listen, everything's expensive now, everything. So you really got to budget it out, know what you're walking into. The loans that they have right now, I'm not a mortgage broker anymore. The loans that they do have are great. And a lot of times you can get, after repair value. So you can really borrow a good amount of money if you have the right property.
Awesome. Before we let you go, you've given us a ton of great advice. I have to get a little insider info. Take us behind the scenes of what it was actually like to be on TV for 15 seasons with this show that became so popular. What was the craziest thing that happened behind the scenes that we did not see on camera?
So $1 Million Listing was an unbelievable ride. It really was. It's I am so thankful for the 15 years, 16 filming that we did. And really it became, understand, I met my wife on that show. I had both my kids on that show. They're now 6 and 8 years old. So to have something that eventually in the future my kids can sit down and watch their daddy when he was at the top of their game. And not on the top of his game, really from the start, is such a special thing for Heather and I to have. It became a lifestyle because we were the only reality show that filmed for a year straight. So you guys see these deals and we do them in an hour, but realize a lot of these deals, it takes me 6 months, 8 months to sell a house. So we'll do something and then we'll put it on hold and this and that. Next thing you know, a year goes by. So really consumed a lot of our life, and which is one of the reasons we decided at the end of the day to move on and spend more time with our kids. But to be able to, so how in football, Scott, you watch tape, right?
Right.
You watch tape of yourself to improve. I got to watch tape of myself. So a lot of agents never think like this, right? And so I got to see. how I sit in a listing appointment, the things that I do with my hands, what I look like, this, that. So what was really cool that people never think about is I got to perfect my craft.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in my mind, there was always a camera on me. So I got to watch tape on what I do for a living. And listen, when I started, I was begging people to allow me to put their house on the show. Like, it wasn't what it is now with these reality shows. Remember, we were the only one back in the day when it came to real estate. And I was like, I'll sell your house for free. Just let me put it on the show. And, I would do whatever I could do because, I needed it. I was searching for even 10 listings because I didn't have them. And then, of course, through the years, it got bigger and bigger, and our business got bigger and bigger. And then it was like, people were like, I'll pay you to put my house on the show. And then I was like, no, it's all good. And, but really just to be able to open up the crazy world of real estate on $1 Million Listing to the world, it's so cool. And to be able to like go to Canada or Australia, I do a lot of speaking engagements throughout the year. A lot of, mentoring and coaching and this and that. And to be able to go to these places and people are like, I got into real estate because of you. You're like, this is crazy. I'm just an agent. And so it's that kind of makes it all worth it. And, I don't have a bad thing to say about that show. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience that I would never change it for anything.
How about a reboot in the future?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Any TV show.
So I'll tell you what. Right now, I'm good. I'm good right now. This was a tough year in real estate, and my brother, my wife, and I. My wife's my CEO, and she's just the boss of all bosses. And my brother and I run the company. And for us to be able to pull out over $4 million a day in sales for the past. Well, this year definitely, but the past 2,200 days every day is something to be able to have, our second best year of our entire 20-year career this year, which is, agents are starving out there. It's tough to be able to do that because I kept my eye on the ball. Was really interesting to see without the show. And just like I told this when I took my kids to school this morning, like that's the favorite part of my day. By far. Like, yeah, I'm going to go show a $40 million house right after this. And that's cool. And I'll post about it and it's cool. But like for me at this point, my priorities have changed big time. I'm still a killer, but I'm a different type of killer and smarter, working smarter, not harder. But it was great. And I'm really embracing this new time in our life. Both of us, Heather and I.
That's just so great. I tell you, when the reruns come on, I still watch them.
They're so fun.
I just love it. Yeah, it's the best.
And it's kind of hilarious.
You guys are the best. You guys are the best.
It's kind of hilarious to look at the $1 million listing and know now $1 million means a lot less than it did when $1 million listing was like a really big number.
Right. Yeah.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Everybody's like, oh, you got to change it to $10 million listing, whatever. In fact, Scott, there's an auction going on in your neighborhood out there through one of those auction companies in Silverleaf.
Really?
That just came across my desk. Wow. That a client of mine is interested in. They're on for $20 million. You can buy it.
Let me jump right on that.
Starting bid is $10 million. You might be able to steal it, Scott.
That's a month's pay here at 3TV.
Yeah, sure.
So have you ever gone back to Syracuse?
Way back when. I haven't been back in a very long time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Have you?
No, I mean, it's a little far from me out in LA, in LA and Newport. Getting out there is not like I'm in New York City like a lot of my friends are still. It's a trek.
Yeah. Someday you got to take the kids out. My kids all wear Syracuse gear, so we're at least trying to start them young.
There you go. Were you in a sorority?
Tried out.
Okay, there you go. Cool. I was in Delta Upsilon before we got kicked off of campus.
Whoops.
That's why you don't remember your college years. Now the truth comes out. Right? He was part of getting kicked off campus.
I love it.
Hey, before we let you go, Josh, it's always great talking to you. You still owe me a hat. He sold my house and I didn't even get a hat.
What?
So,
Oh,
yeah.
the hat's right here, man.
All
The
right.
hat is right here. It's on the desk. It's waiting for you, Scott. I got
Okay.
the next clip for you. So give me a call and we'll get it done.
We'll do it.
Josh, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate this. This was a really fun conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're
Bye,
the
guys.
best. Talk soon.
The On Your Side podcast is produced by Brad Denny. Our audio engineer and editor is Todd Martin. Segment producer is Colin Stanton. And I'm Susan Campbell. If you have a problem you can't resolve, maybe we can. Send us a message through azfamily.com or our AZ Family mobile news app. Look for the On Your Side section and leave us a message. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Side podcast. And if you like it, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
On Your Side is on Good Morning Arizona every weekday morning at 6:45 and 7 o'clock, and every weekday evening on Good Evening Arizona at 4 and 5 o'clock. You can also catch it on Arizona's Family News at 9 on 3TV every weeknight.